Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I am making homemade potato gnocchi. So we start off with boiling 3 pounds of potatoes till they're fork tender. Then you use the ricer. Once they're cool, you peel them. But don't let them get too cool because then it's really difficult for the skin to come off. So boil fork tender, take them out of the water, let them cool a little bit, peel them. Then you can let them cool completely. My potatoes were cooled completely. This is a ricer, this little contraption. I've riced most of them, but I want to show you how it works if you never used one before. This is my first time using it, so I thought a ricer was for rice. What do I know? So you put the potato in like so, and if a potato is too big, you just do half. And then you squeeze like that, and it will rice the potato. Just like that. You squeeze all the way. Okay. Whatever residual comes on top, if it's a big piece, you can put it back in. And then all you do is just scrape what's on the end, and you're done with the ricer. Now, what I do is I take the old-fashioned way. I'm Italian. So the old-fashioned way when they would make pasta with the flour and the egg and everything would be to make a little well. And you put the egg in. So this recipe is 3 pounds of potatoes, 3.5 cups of flour, a teaspoon of salt, and 2 eggs. So right now I am going to put the eggs, crack the eggs into the well. 1, 2. That wasn't a good egg crack. And then what I do is I just start whipping them with a fork and a little well. So potato gnocchi, my family made a lot of things from scratch, being Italian. And I remember, my dad used to make them, and then my mom started making them, and then now I'm trying to carry the tradition on. And they're not hard to make. They're a little time consuming, but no more time consuming, I guess you would say, than regular pasta. All right, so now you just start blending in some of the potato. And then at this point, I'd like to add in the salt so I can just get it all around and mixed well. So salt goes in, a little more of this. Now I just start adding some of the flour to the mixture. And at the beginning, it's going to look like a big mess, but you'll see it comes together. So now you just start adding stuff. Make it like a dough. Okay. You have the moisture from the potatoes with the flour. Okay. And then at one point you can start using your hands, but right now when things are still kind of wet, I use the fork because the potatoes are still wet. Just keep adding the flour. Work off of, we were always taught you could do this in a bowl if you'd like. But, the old-fashioned way, the way I'm accustomed to, is on a countertop, nice clean countertop. And you just start mixing everything together. Add the flour. Mix it. And like I said, at the beginning, it's going to look like a whole bunch of nothing. But it will come together, I promise you. This is my second time making them. I have to say the first time, which I was like really nervous about, and I had made them and I invited company over. And my mom always used to laugh at me. She used to say, I used to try new recipes on my friends and stuff, and even some family. And she would say, how can you do that? Try something new. What if it doesn't come out right? What if it's terrible? And I would say, so then you pick up the phone, you order pizza, or you throw something else on, you throw something on the grill. What are you going to do? You tried. So, but she would never dare to try a new recipe or something she's never made before when company was coming over. She was cute. She's no longer with me. Lost her, was 5 years ago Christmas. Very sad for me. My mom was my best friend. And even though my dad taught us both how to cook, she carried it on when my dad passed away. He's also gone. And she carried on as best she could. with some of the recipes, and she wrote them down, and she encouraged me to continue when, everybody was gone, if I could and I wanted to. And of course I want to. It's finding the time to do it sometimes. And even though it's a simple recipe, when you look at it, it all comes together pretty quick, especially when you have everything ready. It's worth it because it's a sense when I'm done, I feel like I've accomplished something, and I feel like my parents are smiling at me wherever they are. I look up, so I hope they're there. Of course they are. They're great parents. All right, so as you can see, this is coming together, starting to look like a dough. So you're just gonna it's pulling it together. It's not really kneading it. It's just like compacting it together. Okay. And you'll see it's starting to come together. You just pick up all those little pieces, turn it over. See how that's working? There you go. Here you go. It all gets in your hands and stuff like that, and that's okay. I mean, all these little, little fragments, you don't have to make sure you pick up every little piece. I mean, this makes actually a big portion. It makes a big dough. It makes a lot of gnocchi, in other words. So see how this came together? It's really come together like a nice pasta dough. Just want to make sure everything is mixed in, the rice and the flour. I mean, there's very minimal ingredients, and you whipped up the eggs a little bit, so you're not going to see, chunks of eggs and stuff. So you just kind of work it a little bit. Make sure everything is blended. And see how that comes together? Look at that. That's a big dough. That's a beautiful, like my family would say. That's a beautiful. Okay, so now I'm just going to wash off my hands. Give me a sec. I am going to now take this dough. Just give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to take this dough, and then I'm going to roll it out and start cutting it into gnocchi shapes. And we'll take it from there, and I will show you that. Look, so you always get it all over you, but that's okay. It is homemade. I'll see you in a few.